Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Concentration and awareness, they are poles apart from each other. Both are essential for evolution. Concentration is required and awareness is also required. The question is, where do we apply concentration and where do we apply awareness? If this is not known, our spiritual life becomes a profession, a business. See, once I was in Baroda Management Association and they had asked me to talk. I said, what should I talk? So they said, Swamiji, we are a business community and you are a spiritual man. So tell us something about business and spirituality. I said, my lecture will be over in one sentence. Make spirituality as a business and be happy. See, all problems solved. So when we are walking the spiritual path with concentration, it becomes a business. But when we are living our life in awareness, it becomes a spiritual practice. See the difference? Concentration is always on others. In yoga, there is one of the technique. The technique is called as Trataka. In that Trataka, they'll keep the flame there and keep on looking at it. What are you doing? You are concentrating on that. Concentration is always on others. And self-awareness. Awareness is regarding the self. So we are not self-concentrating. I am concentrating on myself. This is what most of the people do in meditation. See? And when they concentrate on in meditation, it is something like, they are trying to keep the eyes open and not see. See? Try this. Keep the eyes open and don't see. You cannot. It is something like, standing before the mirror and expecting some magic to happen and there should not be any reflection. See, friend, the same thing we do in case of the mind. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. And we go on. What is this? Don't disturb. Meditation in progress. Take a detour. See, which is this mudra? This is dental mudra. See? Because we are concentrating. Don't concentrate if you are walking spiritual path, and don't be in awareness when you are living the world. See? When you are living the world, you have to have the capacity to concentrate. Because concentration is required when you apply objectively your energies. See, like in one teacher's house I was, she was evaluating the papers, CBSE 12th standard board examination, She was one of the evaluators. So she said, Swamiji, this is all confidential, but from you nothing is hidden. So I just want to take your advice. One student has written in reply to all the question, only one reply. From the first page up to the end. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. And at the end, if you are a devotee of Bhagwan Ram, please pass me. See? So she says, Swamiji, what should I do? I said, fail, there is no doubt about it. No, but he is a devotee, then he will get something outside the temple, not in the examination. He must fail. See? Concentration is required when we want to be efficient and not expert. What is the difference between efficient and expert person? An expert is the one who knows more and more about less and less to such an extent that he knows everything about nothing. Height can be reached only up to there. See? Because he is expert. You go to the doctor, ENT. You know the ENT? The one who catches your ear and asks you to pay through the nose. If you don't, he cuts your throat. ENT. Go to the ENT specialist and tell, Doctor Sahab, my right ear is giving tremendous pain. What should I do? I'm sorry. I am a left ear specialist. To go somewhere. Because he is a specialist. See, expertise limits your abilities in a very narrow field. See, therefore there are people who are MBA. You know what is the meaning of MBA? Me bekar aahe. See? This is a Puneri meaning. You know? So these MBAs are expert in a very narrow field in their business. So business they are expert and successful, and on the family front they are a total failure. See? Why? Because they try to apply the management principles at the family level, which is wrong, because family is not a business. It is a tragedy. One L&T executive, I went to his house for dinner, and a South Indian, he, his wife and one son. And when we were sitting across the dining table, she was preparing garam dosha and giving. So he told me in such a manner that she hears, Swamiji, I don't know how to tell my wife. She has gathered so many things in our house. I just came from Japan and we have learned one technique there. Anything which is not used by us for last 6 months should not be kept in the house. But who will tell her? She doesn't listen. Now she was hearing all that. So through me, as he spoke through me, she spoke through me. Swamiji, tell him, he will be the first person to be thrown out of the experts. Do we call that a life as a fulfillment where you are professionally, you are fantastic, but as regards your life is concerned, you are a total failure? See? So there has to be a perfect balance in the concentration in the outer world and awareness about our own being. Both are required. Many of us have got this wrong notion. Spirituality means what? Simple living, high thinking. Actually it is dirty living and stupid thinking is spirituality. No. See friends, therefore if we are expert, we are definitely expert in our field. Like who becomes an expert? A student goes through the medical college and all the internship and everything. Then he learns to catch the pulse and feel the pulse. Then he has become expert. If the student is not able to feel the pulse, when he catches the pulse, he is not a successful doctor. There was a couple doctor, they had a son who also became doctor, and the son was very enthusiastic. Mom, Dad, you have really worked very hard. You deserve a good holiday. Go for 2 months. All world, move around, come back. I'll take care. They go and come back. And now the son is very, very proud. Dad, all those old ailing patients, I have cleared them all. Dad says, my God, you fool, who told you? Patients are to be cured, they are to be maintained. It is because of them only you are doctor today. See, friends, expertise is only in a limited field and it will definitely give you prosperity in your life. There is no doubt about it. But the field is narrowed. We require an additional qualification in life to manage our external or material life. So one aspect is concentration in a given field so that you become the best. That is required. See? And the second thing is we have to be not only expert but also efficient. Efficiency is a catalytic agent. What is a catalytic agent? Students. Any student here? Yes, tell the definition of a catalytic agent. There are more than 3 idiots. Catalytic agent is an agent which hastens the chemical process without losing its identity and without undergoing any change, is it not? Swami, where did you study this? This is the 19th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's written there. So, efficiency is a catalytic agent in our life so that we are able to invoke expertise in an unknown field. That is efficiency. See, what is the unknown field where we can invoke the efficiency and become expert? What is the unknown field? Everybody, when he gets married for the first time, it is unknown field. Isn't it? So, in that unknown field, if you remain only a husband, you will stop laughing. That is the meaning of the word husband. Last time I told you, hus means smile, banda means banda. Therefore, husband. So, an husband can keep smiling if he is not only husband, but an efficient husband. See? Who is an efficient husband? His interactions and behavior as recorded during the first year of marriage. Then he is an efficient husband. Second year, he becomes an expert husband, little lower. And third year onwards, he is a total failure. Because then the Jwalamukhi begins. Before Jwalamukhi, nothing can stand. First year, it was Chandramukhi. Second year, it was Suryamukhi. And third year, it becomes Jwalamukhi. You cannot stand. Friends, efficiency is an ability to bring out the best in us, even in an unknown field. That is efficiency. See? I'll brag about my efficiency, just to give an example. See, once somebody bought one car and he came and he said, Swamiji, I wanted you to sit first in the car, therefore I brought it here. I didn't allow anybody. Of course, I had to sit because I had to bring the car. I said, very good. Then, please sit down, we'll take a round and come back. So when I went, I said, I don't sit in a car which has got a flat tire. Why? I said, see? Oh God. I said, there is nothing to remember God. You change it and fix the other one and we go. And Jack was kept inside. New car. And he was struggling how to take out the jack and all that. I don't know, it's not coming out. Swamiji, I think I'll have to call a taxi and give me a taxi rider or what? No, that fellow will be able to fit it. I said, can't you do it so simple? No, Swamiji, it's not coming out. It's a new car, I don't know. I said, may I try? Swamiji, what will you know about it? I said, I have studied 19 chapters of Gita. Don't forget. Okay. I went and saw that. I said, you close your eyes, he closes his eyes. I took it out, gave. How did you give that? I said, told you 19th chapter of Gita. It is there written. If you are having a common sense and a cool mind, you can evaluate the situation more efficiently than struggling. I said, here it was fitted not with nut bolts, but only it was unscrewed, and therefore it was fitted. The moment you again do screw at movement, it falls down, you take out. Swamiji, you are making me nervous. This is nothing great. All spiritual life is a very high level of common sense. See? It is not taking the mala in the hand, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, and then you keep that thing in a bag, and in the bag there is a bidi and a machis. Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. See? Now I'll tell you, you must have done this expertise in chanting the Lord's name. Japa you must be doing. Today I was telling Vrinda. Instead of chanting the Lord's name, keeping the number as the criteria, I have to do one full mala. It takes about 10 minutes, but I have got only 3 minutes. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Or Om Bhurbu Satasya Surana Bhargo Devasya Dhimai, Om Bhurbu Satasya Surana Bhargo Devasya Dhimai. Bhagwan getting confused, क्या बोल रही है? And ultimately Om Bhurbu Om Bhurbu. As if it is a SMSing the mantra to the God. SMS is a text message. Instead of doing that, decide the time factor. Suppose you have got 10 minutes. Don't bother how many times you chant. You chant only for 10 minutes. Then you will be able to concentrate on that. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. You are concentrating without efforts. Therefore, keep time factor, that is controlling your interaction with the world, not the quantity factor. I have to go for 5 kilometers, but I have got less time. No need. I have got 5 minutes, but I have to go for a walk. So go from the bathroom to the dining hall to the bathroom, 5 minutes, over. How does it matter where do you walk? Are we going to report somebody that this is what I have done? No. So we will be able to invoke our concentration if our approach to any field is systematic and perfect. See? And when we don't understand this, we try to concentrate, but we fail to concentrate. For example, a boy went to a teacher, a master. Sir, tell me, I can do anything. I got a very high concentration. Okay. You have to chant the Lord's name, and the Lord will reveal you. Is it so simple? Yes. One mala only. At your own leisure, no hurry. Okay, I'll start right away. Om Sri Ram. Look here, my dear child. Only one condition I forgot to tell. When you are chanting the Lord's name, other than the Lord's name, anything should not come to your mind. Particularly, you should not think of a monkey. That's all. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram. But monkey actually helped Rama. Why should Rama get it? Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai monkey. Monkey, where from monkey has come? And we concentrate, concentrate. See? Concentration is possible if you are able to apply yourself intelligently and lovingly. Two things. See? When you love something, you can easily concentrate. And when we don't love something, we cannot concentrate. See? Students particularly, they have this problem that I cannot concentrate, Swami. Whenever I sit for studies, I cannot concentrate. What should I do? Don't study. But then I'll fail. Then you start pulling a rickshaw, never mind. No, but I don't want to do that. Then study. But then how do I study? First, love the subject you have to study. Love. See? When you do anything with love, concentration is a matter of a snap. It doesn't take any time. For example, when you love cricket, for example, you ask these fellows who has done how many runs, they perfectly know everything because they love that. So, the concentration can be invoked in our system when we invoke the principle of love towards whatever we do. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary person is this. Ordinary person wants to do what he loves. Extraordinary person does whatever he has to do with love. If this basic change can be effected in our system, we will be able to take interest in everything. See? And when we learn this art of taking interest in everything, you will see that becomes our natural way of looking at the things. You are not excited. And in that cool but alert mind, expertise is bound to happen because concentration is natural. See? So when we are dealing with the world outside, concentration is required. And because of that concentration, we grow materially, we prosper in the outer world, but then one problem comes. What is that problem? The same technique which we have used for winning the world, the same technique we want to apply in our spiritual quest, this is where we fail. See? One of the biggest obstacle for every spiritual seeker is inability to discard the objective approach to the reality. We are constantly objective. So we want to see God. See, the other day I went somewhere, they called me. And our big master is coming, so Swami, you please come. I said, okay, I come. So like you are sitting, I was sitting. And then the big master came with the pant shirt and above that, the big frock. But below that, on the shoe and everything, necktie and everything, above, he came. And then all the kind of music, and dang, 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 seated. And then everybody took flowers and offered at his feet. So I also went and offered his feet. There was one young couple with me. Swamiji, why are you doing that? I am not going to do it. I don't do it. I will do it. It makes no difference to me. So I went and did it and sat. And then he started. Awareness is the old word. Discard that. If you want Feel God. Feel God. And the whole audience. Upanishad says, na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, na manaha, na vidmaha, na etad anushishyad. It is something like, take this bulb which is having light inside, with that light we can see everything. Malayali pronunciation, everything. See? You know the Malayalis how they speak? If you ask them for a spell banana, B-A-N-A, yet another N-A. So the bulb light can illuminate everything. So with that light, can we see electricity? We cannot. So why we cannot see electricity? Because electricity does not have color or form. Light can illuminate only colors and forms. In the same manner, all our faculties, eyes, ears, etc., mind, intellect, etc., they operate in a specified area. And those specific areas fail in the absolute reality. See? And when we don't understand this basic principle, then we sit for meditation and all that. One day, one man came from Thane. Thane also wise people live. It's not that there's only a mental hospital. So, one young man came, must be in mid-30s. Swamiji, this is my friend. I said, hi friend, how are you? Swamiji, he has got some problem. I said, I don't talk to advocates. I talk directly to the case. What is his problem? My problem is, Swamiji, my all chakras have become open. And my kundalini is awakened. But my guru died. Now tell me what I should do. So I started laughing. Why are you laughing? I said, you are a guru eater. You have already killed one guru and now you have come to me. I am not going to touch you. Go away from me. You are a dangerous disciple, you know. It is something like, you know, the patient was treated by the doctor. The patient became all right, but doctor died. I said, I don't want that. No, I have got only this. What should I do? Friends, please remember, till such time you have any question, any doubt, and you want to do something, you are millions and millions of miles away from the truth. See, here it is not feeling, here it is not seeing. In seeing, where it happened, Mahabaleshwar. Husband and wife, they are coming. I was just going, waiting for the car to come from the petrol station. I was waiting below the tree. And that man was never coming for the lectures. His wife was coming. I casually made a mistake. I said, Amma, why are you torturing Bhole Baba? Because in India, normally husband and wife walk together. So, she said, did he come and tell you everything about me? I said, no, I don't know. Also, he is your husband. I suspected only. Because of the signs that he must be your husband. Otherwise, how can he so obediently walk with you? So, this is how I knew. Then she started telling, Swamiji, he is very selfish. He is going ahead in spirituality and leaving me back. I couldn't understand. See, Kshurasya dhara nishita durataya durgam pathastat kavayo vadanti. It is a path by the one to the one all alone without any company. See? But he is leaving me back. What happened? See, when he sits for meditation, no Swamiji, he sees the light. And I don't see any light. What is the reason? The bulb fuse. Your bulb is fused, therefore there is no light. Check your fuse. There is no competition on the spiritual path. There is no seeing. There is no hearing. This all happens, but it is not the ultimate. See, friends. But we get caught up in this. And then we assess our spiritual evolution on the basis of these kind of experiences which average people don't have. Please remember the basic thing in awareness. Anything which has a beginning, a middle and an end is not real. Adavanti chayannasti tanmadhe tathaiva. In Mandukya Karika it is said, that which did not exist initially and does not exist afterwards, so in between it only appears. Appearance is not the reality. See, friends. Sounds are heard by the ears. Now I am making an experiment. Be aware in this experiment. I will chant Sri Ram 2-3 times. Then I will chant Om. And then we will analyze our observations and our experience. Then you may be able to get the glimpses what is the meaning of awareness. So when I chant Sri Rama, that is the sound which will be heard by the ears. And then if there are more number of sounds, that means there must be a gap between the two sounds. Otherwise they cannot become more. So, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. We chanted 3 times because between the two Sri Ram there was a silence. Now, second experiment. The time required for chanting 3 times Sri Ram and 1 time Om was the same. What is that which made the Sri Ram 3 times and Om only once? The silence between the words. Words are created, they remain for some time and they disappear. Silence is not created and therefore it cannot disappear. Now the question is, sounds we hear by our ears, silence we hear by what? Eyes can see the light. Darkness is also experienced by us. Darkness is seen by what? Presence is seen by the eyes. Absence is seen by what? That which gives existence even to the absence is the awareness. To cognize and hold on to this awareness, one of the techniques given in the various spiritual books is remain in utter silence and be aware of the silence. Don't concentrate on silence. If you will concentrate on silence, you will get disturbed by the sounds. Many seekers, when they are going on this path, they become so intolerant because they cannot tolerate even little different disturbances. See, they are all the time, what in silence? Don't talk to each other. You can talk in your mind. The real silence is when you stop talking to yourself. You will talk to the world, doesn't matter. Stop talking to yourself. See? Mana prasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives the tapasya, the austerities. The austerity of silence is not at the level of the speech. At the level of the speech, the austerities are different. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat. That is the austerity at the level of the speech. We must talk in such a manner that we don't hurt anybody. That is the austerity, not keeping the mouth shut. And then go with the paper and pen. Why don't you give me a cup of tea? There is less sugar. Okay. By now it has become cold. Heat it. Put it in the microwave. So what you are doing, instead of talking by your mouth, you are talking by your hand. So there is an extra duty to this karmendriya hand, because this karmendriya, the speech is on leave. That is not maunam. See friends, real maunam you want to practice. Stop talking to yourself. Give this a try. When you stop talking to yourself, or you attempt for that, you start becoming aware of your own speech with yourself. When we become aware of anything, that disappears. Awareness alone remains. And in awareness there is no object. J. Krishnamurti, objectless awareness. Awareness is that where objectivity doesn't have any place. It is something like this, in a class like ours, the children are sitting and going on. And somebody says, hey, sir has come. Why quit? Why they become quiet? Because they become aware that the teacher has come, they become quiet. In the same manner, when we become aware of all the modifications of the mind, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, jealousy, greed, anger, desire, frustration, lust, etc. When we become aware of them, we don't react with them. Don't control the mind. Remain aware. In that awareness, the mind feels shy and disappears. This experience of remaining in awareness is like what? One example will make it clear. Once I went to Cairns with our Swamiji Maharaj, and there we went to see those corals. So when we were swimming on the surface and seeing the corals on the seabed, the waves were buffeting us. So you go up, I got frustrated. I said, hey, take it away, the whole thing. I removed the shoes and also that thing. And then I said, now I'll jump into the sea. And that man was, what happened? I said, don't worry, I know swimming. and I jumped and went down about 10-15 feet. When I went down, not a single wave. In the same manner, when you are at the surface knowledge, it is called as mind. The same knowledge, when it becomes deep, it is called as consciousness. Concentration is possible only at the surface level when objectivity is the prominent factor of life. But when you dive deep in your own knowledge, the mind disappears and the awareness alone remains. And when you are in deep sea, no wave can ever touch you. In the same manner, in awareness, there are no problems, there are no questions, there is no beginning, there is no end, there is no achievement, there is no failure, there is no nothing. In that total absence, what remains is the pure awareness. See? But because in the external world, we have been practicing concentration. With the same technique, we come on the spiritual path and start concentration. And what is the concentration? That Nasikagram Swam. You know, Bhagavan Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, there are 108 jokes. If you can find out, then you are real devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. But if you are joke-proof, there are some people, they just can't understand any joke. It's a manufacturer's defect, of course. They cannot. There Bhagavan says that sit properly and concentrate on your tip of the nose. Swam nasikagram. There Bhagavan says, your own tip of nose. Otherwise, all the husbands what will say, hey honey, come, I have to sit for meditation. Sit there. Why? Bhagavan Krishna told, concentrate on the tip of the nose. Not that of the wife. Then, swam nasikagram. Okay. See? So when we concentrate, we go away from ourselves. See, friends, don't concentrate. One example I'll give you. When Eureka happened to me, this happened in England. I got down on Heathrow Airport. One of my friend, a Britisher, he is also a Swami, he came to receive me. He studied from us. He came to receive me and we went. On his way, he told me, Swamiji, my mom said, it will take a lot of time to reach to that ashram. So if your Swami friend doesn't mind, he can take rest at night here. Tomorrow morning can go. I said, I have no problem. Anywhere I have to live. So we went there. And she really gave such a beautiful room for me to sleep, clean, neat, all perfect. If you want to see perfection, visit Britishers. They are really gems. Such a beautiful house. And after they kept one book, etc. on the table, light behind, water, everything. And then all of them went and is reading some book. After some time, I put it on, I wanted to sleep. But then light was there. So I said, where is the switch? I was trying to do this way, but I couldn't locate anywhere. So I had to again get up in that cold and see where is the switch, and those terrible lights as if they entered in my whole system. Very bright light. Finally, I could locate the switch off, and then lie down and close my eyes. But those bright light that has entered my eyes, they were, after closing the eyes, they are still there. Then I opened my eyes and I saw the street light. Again I closed my eyes. I saw this bright light. Again I opened my eyes. I saw the street light, and Eureka! that experience which demands presence of objects is the waking experience. And that experience which doesn't demand the presence of the objects but only the impressions are enough, that experience is the dream experience. And both the experiences are illumined by the same awareness. Let it be the waking experience, let it be a dream experience. That awareness doesn't come and doesn't go. The waking experience comes and go. The dream experience comes and go. But the awareness has never come and never gone. Recognition of this awareness is called as concentration versus awareness. Here you can never have any tension. When you concentrate, you will be tense. See? And when you remain in awareness, you are at home with everyone, in every place, in every situation, because you have transcended the limitations of matter. In matter, concentration matters. In absolute reality, it doesn't matter. Because there is no matter in absolute consciousness. Remaining in this awareness is the spiritual facet of our personality, and yet successful in the outer world is the material facet of our personality. And both of them, when they are perfectly balanced, then alone there is a fulfillment in life. When we concentrate in the outer world, we are struggling to fulfill our desires. But we don't discover the fulfillment in life. If we focus only attention on the self, we may get, we may not get, but we definitely lose the outer world. The perfect way is this. When we deal with the world, invoke the faculty of concentration. But when we go in the inner world, drop it and remain more and more in awareness. See? And when this is not understood, funny questions come to us. This happened in Jacksonville, USA. After my lecture was over, there was one Dakshin Bharatiya Sajjan with a proper, dish antenna and all the marks and with the lungi and everything. He was also there. Swamiji, like you, I also know Brahman, okay? But I have got a question. How come you are able to move around the world with that Brahman and I cannot move? I said, you are the Brahman. You know him very well, is it not? Now, what is the difference between my knowing Brahman and your knowing Brahman? Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. Where knowing is being, that is awareness. Where knowing is not being, that is samsara. See, in samsara, what we know that we are not. I know this is a camera, but I am not a camera. I know this is a mic, I am not a mic. Suppose it happens, then whatever we know that we become. This is the donkey. What happened? I know the donkey. I became a donkey? No. But when it comes on the spiritual path, knowing is being. So I asked him, I said, a simple thing you try. Find out that about which you have no question. That is you. That is Brahman. Find out. Try. See? you have doubt and question about everything in this world except one. That one thing is your own presence. Suppose somebody asks you, can you lift this box? I think I can, but maybe. But somebody asks, are you there? Let me think. No, our presence does not require any thought. That thought-free experience is awareness, and it is not created. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyagena eke amrutatvamanasho paredanakam nihitam guhayam vibhrajate yatayo vishanti. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena. These are the usual means of attainment in the material world where concentration is required. First is the karma. When you are doing the karma, you have to concentrate yourself fully. Integrated expression of the awareness is called as concentration. See, if we are not an integrated personality, we cannot concentrate. There was one lady who came to meet me, and she had a big bandage in her hand and she came like this. So when she came, I got up. I said, Mahadevi, Namaskar. So Amity, you always make fun. I said, no, I don't have to make. You are self-sufficient. Yes, what can I do? So Amity, I got burned. I said, anyway, now you have already put something. It will be all right. Do you know? I said, I don't want to know. What is there to know how you got burned? It's okay. You want to try another hand or what? I don't want to know. No, but you know what happened? I said, okay, tell me. This is how you know we are forced to listen. And she said, I usually, I was having, argument and fight with my husband. I said, what is new in this? As usual. I was cooking. And then he was, arguing and I was arguing and I was preparing chapati, and in that I forgot that the tawa is on the, heat for quite long and there is no chapati. I thought chapati is there and I put it. You always do like that. And the tawa became stuck to my hand and my whole hand was burned. So many, what should I do? I said, still there is a second hand remaining. But why this happened? Only because where our hand is, there our mind is not. Integration of the personality achieved through concentration is this. Where our mind is, there our hand must remain. See, friends, concentration is a freedom. It is not a burden. See what happens, for example, we are all sitting here. Now, I have been talking for last 53 minutes, 13 seconds. Now, don't tell. Bandi mutti sawa lakh ki. Don't tell. Out of 53 minutes, how many minutes you have been hearing me? Huh? Because even this is not heard. So where did you go in between? Because some story told, some joke told, something told, suddenly our mind takes a tangent and we go there. And then we remember, yes, we went, for satsanga in this, Nityananda Baba's ashram in Ganesh Puri and यहाँ सब्जी पूरी है न गणेश पूरी पहुँच गए. See, friends, our mind is running in three areas: time, space and object. That mind, which is a victim of these three parameters, is a mind which does not have concentration. The mind which has a freedom from the impact of time, from the impact of places, and from the impact of objects, that mind is a mind having attained full concentration, and that mind technically is called as Sanyamita Manaha. That mind which is Sanyama. Sanyama is perfect control. And how this happens? It will not happen as an accident. See friends, in Patanjali Yoga Darshan this comes. First technique to attain the concentration of mind. Our interaction with the world should be such that we do not leave any mess in our mind after the interaction is over. Interact with the world, but don't leave any mess. Today we went to some place, beautiful place, and there was a big board. Please leave your footprints here. Garbage you carry with you. See? In the same manner, when we interact with anybody at any place, at any time, on any issue, after that interaction is over, let your mind carry zero impressions. The first spiritual practice. See? And for us, every interaction is an impression in the form of a photo. And then, see, one of the tragedies that I go through is, suppose somebody had a marriage in their house and I was not there fortunately, but they don't leave me. So when I go, they will say, Swamiji, you are not there, but never mind, we have got an album. Like, you know, they got Al-Qaeda, an album. And then they start opening. Swamiji, this is me. I thought this is a kabutar. See? So we keep on creating more and more impressions on the mind, and as a result, our hard disk is always full. So, first sadhana is yama sadhana. Interact with the world in such a manner that don't create and collect unwanted impressions on the mind. See? Like what? Give some examples, Swamiji, like you are listening to me now. This is what we hear from everybody. Swamiji, when you talk, and it's very simple and easy, but the moment we go out, put on our shoes, everything is forgotten. I don't know why, what it happens, because of the shoes. That is why in India, when people go to the temple, they go with the old slippers. Older the slipper, stronger the ego. So you go there, leave your old slipper and select new. This is a spiritual practice, but people think they are thieves. They are not thieves. They are real spiritual seekers. So they leave their ego at the feet of the Lord and take the fresh one and start their life again. See? So don't leave any lingering impressions on the mind when you are living with the world. Second thing, we are a problem for ourselves also. And we are a real problem for ourselves. Nobody is problem to us more than ourselves. There was one air hostess, British Airways. She got married and she says, sorry, you didn't come, so I want to come and meet you. I said, come. Come with the husband also. Let me see that poor one. So they came. Namaskar, Chamatkar. And then that time I had one Rudraksha in my hand. So I said, put the thread and put around your neck. Swamiji, you have to put and protect me. So I put around her neck. Then I said, now, may you protect yourself from yourself. Swamiji, what kind of Ashirwad you have given? I said, real problem is this only. Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmana. If we have to protect us, it is not from the world. Protect yourself from yourself. The mind makes us dance. If we can protect ourselves from ourselves, nobody in the world can harm us. See our mind. Suppose somebody tells, that I'll reach home at about 8 o'clock. Okay, mom? Okay, beta, come soon. And your son goes away. And 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, 8:40, 9, 9:30, he hasn't come. I think there must be some accident of the railway. He was going to come. This anything can happen. Or maybe he must be crossing the road and one truck must have gone over him and he must have become a chutney. And your mind go, you're frustrated and so what our mind can think, even our enemy cannot think. So our mind is worse than our enemy. And this becomes our real problem. See, friends, therefore, niyama sadhana. Niyam sadhana is what are the don'ts. What are the do's? Yama sadhana, what are the don'ts? Then come the asana. Asana is not sitting in a Padmasana and after 3 seconds calling the fire brigade to tow you to the hospital. That is not asana. You have seen, all asanas are animal asanas. Ushtrasan, Matsyasan, Kurmasan, Gardhavasan. There is no human asana. Swami, you don't know anything. Why? There is one human asana. What is that? Shavasan. Attributed to the human beings. The real meaning of the asana is Thira Sukham Asanam. Remain ever cheerful. That is a spiritual practice. For us, spiritual practice means what? Becoming serious so much as if you have consumed one handful of caterpillar. Whatever spirituality. Yesterday evening I was telling you one story and concluded. I will tell it tomorrow. That lady came to me and Swami, I got problems. I said, I don't need. I got sufficient. You can take it back. I don't need. No, where will I go? You please help me. So what is that? Me and my husband, we always fight. Nothing new. Next. My boss does not support me in the office. He always finds faults with me. Next. I don't have contemporary friends. My colleagues, they don't cooperate with me. Next. My subordinate don't listen to me. Next. My children have written me off. Next. I said, I ditto everything. Now you go. But why this is happening? I am doing everything. I said, tell me in short what you do everything. I am the disciple of such and such Guru. Guru's name I will not tell you. I am disciple of such and such Guru. Then he has told me in everything I do. I take 3 times bath a day. I eat only the naturopathy type of food, the wheat grass, and then, all kinds of funny that I do. I don't eat papad, mirch, masala, no nothing, boiled vegetables and all that. And then I do the Japan, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And in spite of all this, why this is happening to me? Please tell me. I said, Mama, listen, I got 3 conditions. If you sign, I agree, then I'll talk. Otherwise, delete. What is that? First, no discussion. Second is, no argument. And third thing, after I tell, you disappear immediately. Agreed. I said, okay, listen. Diagnosis, suffering from spiritual poisoning. Now, what do you have to do? First thing, when you go from here, before going home, go to a beauty parlor and present yourself in a presentable way. You are looking like a chudail. Who will like to talk to a chudail? See? How you dress and how you address tells your inner poise. It is necessary. See, friends. And then I said, you are overdone too much. Now start seeing the TV serials. Start going to the marketplace. Start seeing cinema. Enjoy good food. And start taking vitamins, etc. Do it for a few months. And for God's sake, stop your japa. One time bath is more than enough. 3 times bath a day. Why don't you stay in the bathroom? And then by God's grace, she did it. After 2-3 months she came, totally changed. Swamiji, do you recognize me? I said, no, I don't remember anybody, because he who has forgotten God, how can he remember human beings? I don't remember. No, I came to you and then you told me, oh, but you don't look like that. No, Swamiji, you told me I did it. Now I have given up everything, japa and all that. I said, now you are looking like a human being. See, friends, spiritual practice is not acrobatic and torturing yourself. Yama, niyama, asana. Asana is remain cheerful. Happiness is a creative force. It is not a destructive force. Can somebody goes and tells his girlfriend, darling, today I am so happy, I want to pluck your head and throw. Will anybody say? A happy person is always a creative force, can never be destructive. Spiritual practice doesn't make us frustrated. So yama, niyama, asana, then pranayam. Pranayam is not only filling the air in a different way. Pranayam is, that is required for the inner purification called as nadi shodhanam. Pranayam is having a perfect balance in your activities. See, life must be a perfect balance. Sometimes we eat. Then we have got upwas, no eating. Don't be extremist. Extremism is not spirituality. Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Dukkha, the destroyer of the miseries. Yoga is then only if we have got a perfect balance. See, many of us observe the fast and make everybody around us miserable. The other day somebody asked, Swamiji, do you observe Ekadashi? And that depends in whose house I am. If it is a Marwadi and a Gujarati house, I observe Ekadashi. Because these two communities, they really have good food on Ekadashi. Other days it is useless food. But otherwise I don't observe. But why? I said I got my own principle. My principle is keep your stomach full and head empty. Those people who observe fast, they keep their stomach empty and head full of food thought. Kal kya kharenge? See, friends. So, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar. Pratyahar is effortless withdrawal from the world. Effortless withdrawal. See, when the good food comes in front of us and the food is, I think, stomach is full. But you take something more. Okay, for your sake I take. Don't oblige. Actually, you want it. In India it happens, when you want some sweets. I don't eat sweets. So, Arey Swamiji ke liye mithai nahi lai, le aao. The lady says, he doesn't take, no, le aao. And then he will do his hand not on his thali but on somebody's. Nahi, don't give to them. His thali is open. These are the techniques. Pratyahara of freedom to withdraw from anything in life. See, you know how important that freedom is? Suppose you have got a car and you are coming from Lonavala to Bombay and you are coming down. It's a downward slope. And suppose you have to apply brake and your car is such a mashallah that you apply brake in Lonavala and it stops at Panvel. in the same manner, if we cannot say halt, that very moment we are completely gone. Pratyahara is that freedom to withdraw from the world. When these 5 things are done, then we can operate on the mind. If these 5 things are not done, we cannot operate on the mind. You know, one day I started becoming very smart. So I observed that when I take 8th chapati, my hunger becomes satiated because I eat that much. One day I thought, yaar, this is eating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Instead of that, I tried another way. I keep the 8 chapatis in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I ate the 8th chapati first. How come? The hunger is not gone today. Unless I eat the 7 chapatis, 8th chapati has no capacity to satiate my hunger, is it not? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, these are the 7 chapatis. Then the 8th chapati, Samadhi becomes effective. But we directly want to take a shortcut. Swamiji, do you deal in meditation? Of course, wholesale. You deal in meditation. No, I am doing meditation for last 30 years. One person met me on Singapore airport. Swamiji, I am doing meditation for last 30 years. Only one small problem. Can you help me? I looked at him. My problem is the mind runs here and there. Rest of the things are okay. Then a buffalo is better than him. Her mind also doesn't run. She is anywhere. See? Sita pranyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. Nothing disturbs. See? Don't run after all these gimmicks. They will not help you. Whether it is a material world or the spiritual world, there is nothing like a shortcut. If you try shortcut, you will be cut short. Go systematic. And there is no hurry. We are fortunately Hindus. Therefore, if not in this life, agla janam hai na. It is not, this is the last life. If you don't, you will be buried all the time. No, don't worry. Agla janam hai. Go slow. Go steady. See, there is no hurry. In this manner, in the outer world, to attain concentration, we have to have the self-discipline through the yoga. And to remain in awareness, we have to have the complete knowledge of our Vedanta Shastra about our correct identity. When these 2 things are applied in the right field, what we do? We apply the yoga in the spiritual field and we apply the awareness in the material field. So we become aware about somebody else's business. उनकी लड़की भाग गई, आपको पता है? Why we should worry what is happening to other people's lives? We have to remain aware about our life, not somebody else's life. See? Once this division of concentration and awareness is understood, we will practice both in the respective field and grow both materially as well as spiritually. That Abhyudaya Nishreyasa together is called as the fulfillment in life. Etat buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyaschya bharata. Bhagwan Sri Krishna says in the 15th chapter, having known this, you shall certainly attain fulfillment in your life. So recognize the field of concentration and the field of awareness and function accordingly. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva अवशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।